Hello again. This is Dark Voyeur, imitating a Copenhagen. I want to talk to you guys about IQ scores. You see, IQ scores do not measure objective intelligence because they only measure a part of intellectual capacity. For instance, the IQ scores do not measure retention, which is very important in job performance. Does not measure judgment, which is very important in job performance. It does not measure the capability of learning very quickly, which is a measurement of job performance, and understanding concepts very quickly. What it measures is a certain type of abstract thinking and cognitive ability. And also it does not measure social skills, which is very important in jobs such as management, such as being a politician, and even being a lawyer. A lot of race realists and white supremacists get a hard-on by showing some studies that expose lower IQs of blacks in higher middle class economic levels. What some of these Eurobozos and the other ones who are misinformed fail to realize is that certain occupations are better suited for higher IQ performance. For example, if we go into Detroit, Michigan, a Detroit, Michigan suburb, and measure IQ scores of blacks and whites, and if blacks have a greater tendency to have occupations that involve being a salesman or a retail manager, a fucking IQ means shit. Because those fields rely on people skills and persuasive skills. It relies on good judgment, and it relies on very good retention. It also relies on a dedicated sense of urgency and being aggressive somewhat. None of these, the IQ test does not measure this in any instance. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't measure shit. What that tells me of middle class blacks is that they can succeed without having the skills that are on the IQ test. Don't get me wrong, the IQ test is a very decent way of learning, a decent way of diagnosing learning disabilities or opportunities in trying to improve the way that you learn or the way that you think. But it should not be used as, it shouldn't be used by racial posers to declare white supremacy, or by race realists who are, to be very honest, tired of seeing the white race as the culprit of non-white academic achievement. So they use this race realism and these genetic differences to silence that white racism contributes to lower IQs. If you could, let's be honest, if you can prove that, you know, blacks are actually less intelligent, then there's no reason to ask the question why blacks underrepresent in scientific fields, underrepresent in legal fields, and underrepresent in business fields. If it's just natural for whites to be in those positions, or Asians, then there would be no need for affirmative action. Actually, affirmative action would be a detriment to those who are higher qualified in absolute terms, because what you're saying is that the unqualified blacks have no capacity to catch up and become adequate performers in the working world. So therefore, you would not hear these charges of racism or whites conspiring to keep blacks out of these fields. However, you don't need race realism to combat unjust charges of white racism influencing lower academic performance among blacks. I mean, you can just be a fucking neocon and say that blacks need to step it up in terms of valuing education and thinking it is important. That's all you need to be. You don't need to be a race realist or a white supremacist. So that's why I don't understand these guys. So that's it for now. But again, you know, these race realists are getting hard on about, oh, well, we've seen in certain economic classes that the IQ disparity still exists. Well, first of all, does the disparity decrease when compared to, you know, a rich white person and a poor white person? If the disparity decreases, then there may be another factor that contributes to that remaining gap. Did it ever occur to you guys that that may be a possibility? Nope. Because you guys are you're so tired of hearing the blame whitey mentality. I'll tell you guys, race realism or white supremacy is not the way to solve that, but you can do what you want. Have a nice day.